This podcast is brought to you by Fandom Spotlight. Check us out at fandomspotlight.com. Have fun and follow your fandom.
Last time on Dragon Ball for Life.
Yippity. Happy 4th of July, motherfuckers.
Yeah, or post or Juneteenth part 2.
So, on this holiday special, ain't gonna change. We just gonna do a 10-second recap.
You already know though. In honor of the dialogue light, I might have for 4th of July. I might only need 4 seconds.
Yeah, right. All right then. Let's get it going then, Mr. Porter. You ready?
I'm ready on your countdown, good sir.
All right, let me get it ready for you.
Riveting stuff. Gripping breakdown.
All right. In 3, in 2, in 1, go.
Z fighters get to fight and show they sign. Psych, no, Goku plot protection. He comes in, handles everything.
Of course, that's really all you needed, and you had like 4 seconds to spare, so that's all good. Hey, there we go.
You
4 seconds to spare.
Look, boom. Happy 4th of July, motherfuckers.
Welcome. As you know, it's the holiday, so we appreciate y'all listening. When you're back from, your barbecues, your cookouts, whatever your kinfolk want to call it. So I'm gonna get right to it. So you know me, I stay chillin' and love thy women like krillin'. And when I'm trying to, sway him, I might play the harp. Because at the end of the day, I'm Super Saiyan sharp. Back, and you know what? Tell them who you are if they don't already know.
Yeah, y'all know who I is. The other half of the Fusion Dance Dons, aka the main gods. Vegeta himself, the prince of all Saiyans, Mr. Matty Ice, Matthew Porter. What's up, lifers?
Yeah, we back. For those who haven't tuned in, shout out to Brendan of Blurred Up. Please check that out. We did a very fun interview with him, and just going over our gateway drug into anime, which is this exactly. And we were just talking about anime in general, the pulse of the culture. It's definitely a great interview. So if you haven't checked it out, go visit Blurred Up and listen to me and Matty Porter break it down.
You dig? And to follow up, because I know we somehow got off into a Jurassic Park tangent. Don't know how we got there, but that's kind of just on brand for us. I did see Jurassic World Dominion. Yeah, that shit was mid.
Said just to follow back up on it.
Unless Spielberg want to come get us, if he wants to get into the anime world and needs 2 representatives for the culture, then that shit was amazing.
It's like we'll do it.
Shit was fire.
Yeah, but to kind of stay on the light mood that we're at, that's basically what this breakdown's going to be, because both chapters 59 and 60, once again, another chapter where they really could have just bunched it all in one, but
indeed,
it's just always, it's funny reading this back, because just thinking that we had to wait a month for each, even though, don't get me wrong, the action panels have been awesome, but just waiting a month for a kind of the continuation of the same fight, it could get a little, could drag on a little bit, but
when they animate this, it's gonna like 6 to 7 of these chapters are gonna be one episode.
Yeah, unless they go back to their old Z days where remember how long the Frieza and Goku fight was? But that joint was
the 5 minutes that was 20 episodes.
Yeah, that was that was a duration of 5 minutes. Well, all right, well, goddamn.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Before we kind of get into it, it's crazy to think because Dragon Ball Z, whether it be super detailed, filler, whatever it may be. A lot of their arcs, particularly the Majin Buu arc, that took place in like 2 to 3 days.
Right.
That is a fucked up 2 to 3 days for some of those characters.
It's like, yo,
even the Cell Saga from that was like a week at the most.
right.
Like, and then if you, because how long did the Cell games did he give them to train? Was it 10 days?
Yeah, 10 days.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
But from the point of like showing up on South City and stuff, Android 19 and 20, then 17 and 18 and 16, then Imperfect Cell. That was all like one day.
It's it's just so funny, like, and it's hilarious because it's like, you know, you really could like extend the timeline of it, but you know, because like we're watching it for months and they're like, oh yeah, that shit took 2 hours, huh?
Yeah, like it's a wild concept to think like how fucked up your day had to have been.
Right. and as an Earthling, that's got to be like the most traumatic 2 days, and you forget about it the next day.
Exactly. So some new shit happened.
Right. Like you don't even realize that there was a giant bug destroying your city. You might have got sucked up. Pause. But like, yeah, like that could have just all happened, and you wake up like,
could have been your story.
Oh, I'm gonna make my coffee, and not realizing that you just had a giant ass bug like try to, you were inside an alien.
Hey, I see you, my boy, with the ether merch. I see you, boy.
Gang.
Repping the set.
Gang.
Gang, fucking gang.
Yeah. But yeah, so chapter 59, I got another creative title, Activate Ultra Instinct Sign.
Another one.
Yeah.
Wonder what this one's about.
Yeah. So yeah, it's titled Activate Ultra Instinct Sign. And as Matt mentioned in the 10-second recap, you know, the Z Fighters, they once again acted helpless until Goku showed up to save the day. Now,
plot protection is a motherfucker.
Oh my god. So Goku arrives and reveals that he can now activate Ultra Instinct Sign, aka Ultra Instinct Omen, at will. So he steps in and Moro's like, okay, you're using this interesting power again. And so Goku's like, yeah, but shit different now. Shit different. So
yeah, for those at home, the Ultra Instinct Omen is Ultra Instinct but with black hair as opposed to silver. I don't remember if they explained it in the Moro arc or if, like, spoiler alert, foreshadowing for the next. Oh, they don't explain the difference in this one. Never mind.
No.
We'll get there when we get there.
They do not.
But there is a difference as to why he has black hair with this version as opposed to silver. But they make you wait a fuck ton of chapters and a whole different arc till they explain what it is.
Right. Like he's still grasping like just the technique itself. So
exactly.
And you know, he finally is able to activate it at will, which before he wasn't able to do so. So obviously he shows up, everyone's like all hype and happy because, you know, obviously they couldn't even put a finger on Moro. So now it's like, oh, Goku's here. All right, we can fall back and chill. And,
hands and feet.
And it's just so funny with like just the cliche phrases that just keep getting brought back because Piccolo's like, he goes, the fate of the earth, no, the fate of the entire universe is riding on this fight. Like, all right, bro, like, yeah.
Y'all need to stop acting like y'all got Beerus in your back pocket. You got the big Joker, right? Ready to play.
I'm saying, and like, so Goku shows up with the Ultra Instinct Omen, and you know he's starting to, you know, show it off what it is, and only Jocko, because of his eyesight, can follow along with the punches that Goku is throwing, and both Gohan and Piccolo aren't able to even recognize Goku. They can't even sense Goku's ki because of the God ki that he has, which is hilarious. Given what's just recently released, and I ain't gonna get into it. So okay,
we may or may not have seen a certain film before it came out.
Yeah. So I mean, I could really honestly like give panel by panel breakdown, but it's literally Goku showing off his new grasp of Ultra Instinct Omen, and he's going toe to toe with Moro. And even though, as I was, you know, first when I was reading this, you know, obviously just from being a seasoned DB fan, like you just know that, all right, this is the appetizer, this is only the beginning. But like even And usually
we want the stage.
Yeah, but usually when that happens, it's always like, oh, when they show off their new power or their new control of their power, they have like initial control of the fight. And the interesting part about this was like, nah, he was just kind of on par with Moro. Like he wasn't really like, he didn't have the upper hand. He didn't really like, it was kind of like, oh, Moro was like, oh, you can use this better. All right, you're faster. Oh, it's heightened your agility. And as this is happening, you know, it's just pretty much like, it never felt like Goku actually was like winning or he had the upper hand. It was just kind of like, oh, cool, you can activate it at will, but you still not doing shit right now. Like it's right. Like you're able to not just get fucked up, because basically like if the other Z fighters were still there, they would have been dead by now. But that's interesting.
Exactly.
And so, you know, it panels over to Vegeta on Yard Rat, who's still completing his training. And at the time, we don't know yet what technique he's mastering and practicing. But he is able to sense that the fight between Moro and Goku has begun. So he's like, all right, I need to speed this shit up. So yeah, that happens. And, you know, and it was just a quick panel. Like, it wasn't even like just...
Yeah, it's like half a panel.
and like the thing about it was just like we just keep on seeing little pieces of Vegeta's training, where I hope in the anime they actually show what he needed to do in his training, because they just show panels where he's kind of like at like the tail end of a training session. And
yeah, you know what I hope they do. So in the Imperfect Cell saga, when it was Gohan and Goku's time to go in, and like when they were still showing what was happening with like Vegeta, Cell, Trunks, 18, Krillin, and 16, they would like show little clips of Gohan and Goku training, like kind of insert here and then go back, and then like progressively, and then oh shit, he's Super Saiyan now.
Right.
I hope they do something like that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they need to flesh that out, just because, like, you know, we never saw how Goku was able to achieve instant transmission when he first got it. And now that they're opening up the lore of Dragon Ball, and the fact that like Vegeta's there now, they need to just give us a little bit of something, because like we see enough fights, you know, like we know the fights are coming, like but we want more. And so speaking of fights,
that's a really good point, Chad. That's another missed opportunity for the manga. It's like there's so much mystery behind Goku's time on Yard Rat. They could have even had like something, or in the anime, hopefully, like where there's like a flashback sequence of Goku training, like something like that.
Yeah, because I think sometimes they fall too much on the trope of, oh, we love the action, we love the fighting. Yeah, we do. But when you open up,
we love developed characters.
But because the thing is like most of Dragon Ball's fans now are the adults that grew up with it, and we're at a point where it's like, nah, we would like some development of the story. We would like some, and you know, and it doesn't have to be complex. Like you don't have to make it an intense, complex anime that kids can't understand. You can still make it basic enough where they can understand it. Just give us a simple explanation, simple tease of what they're doing to achieve these new powers. Like it's just funny, because like they achieve these new powers, and sometimes it just feels like a straight ass pull, because it is. But then Toriyama fucks with you, and he's like, well, I'm gonna drop in a little bit of information to make it seem like, oh, I was going somewhere with this, and then he forgets.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that, Chad, because that like kind of made me think of something like you were saying, like, oh, us as like the Dragon Ball fans who are adults now, who like want like more complex shit. It makes me like think that like when we were watching Dragon Ball as kids, there wasn't really anything to put it up against. So it's just like we wouldn't be able to like say like, oh, they developed characters on this show, but why don't they do it here?
Right.
But now we have so much great anime out. It's like we can say like, hey, yo, y'all kind of like phoning it in,
right?
With these explanations, Dragon Ball,
like they're kind of like they're kind of like, and this is just from a franchise in general, but like Dragon Ball has reached the point where they're like the Los Angeles Lakers, the New York Knicks of the anime world, where like
the Yankees,
where they kind of fall back a little bit just on their prestige and status. That like where they're not going to, like, for example, like the Knicks think that, you know, they can just go out and get a free agent because it's New York, it's the mecca of basketball, where like instead of just actually like investing in young talent, so there's a little bit of that with Dragon Ball, where it's kind of like we know y'all gonna watch, we know y'all gonna read, which is like true, but at the same time, like we'd want a little bit more. You know, that's not hard to ask. And the fact that Toriyama has Toyotaro now, even though Toyotaro sometimes when he does get a little bit of writing freedom, it's a little bit off. But I mean, there's enough brains in the room where now, like, hey, let's flesh out some ideas on how we can expand upon this.
Exactly.
But so yeah, it goes back to Goku and Moro fighting, and you know, Goku tells Gohan and Piccolo to stay back, and then it's funny, but to what we were saying earlier, because Gohan lets them know, like, oh yeah, go for it, man, do what you got to do, don't worry about the damage to Earth. Like,
we not gonna argue.
Yeah, we got the Dragon Ball so right after, so it's like, goddamn, like they're just like, oh, and also too, it just hit me. So let's say, all right, you're at your wedding, and this fight is happening, and then all of a sudden at your wedding it gets
earthquake.
Yeah, it gets destroyed. So when they make the wish to restore everything, I don't know if it's ever been, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I remember if it's ever been specified if like when it's restored, if it's restored back to like that last point. Because let's say, yeah.
So it's not.
Yeah, so like, all right, so what if you the biggest moment of your life, and then like it gets restored, and you're like,
if you remember in the Boo saga when they brought everybody back, everybody just kind of wakes up where they dropped dead, or remember like when all the people got brought back after Vegeta attacked the World Tournament saga, and they just kind of just popped back up where they died at. So yeah, it doesn't really like re-establish that time, and the environment still fucked up. It's just you just kind of just sprout back up from your demise.
Right, and so it's kind of like, oh, so then like, would you just wake up then?
There goes our security deposit.
I'm saying, like, are you awake now, legally married? Like, is it just like what?
Right.
You got people texting you like, yo, that was so fun. I'm like, wait, what was fun? Yeah. So so back to the chapter, even though most of it is fighting, there's a quick then, you know, transition over to Beerus' planet, where Beerus is fishing, he's hungry, he wants some food. Ask Beerus, you know, if he knows about any recipes or anything of that matter. But they're watching the fight. Whis is asking Beerus, you know, has Goku mastered Ultra Instinct? Because you know, he's impressed that he's able to activate it at will now. But he's also like, well, actually, has he mastered the true form yet? And Beerus is like, yeah, we didn't get to that. He said, I'm not gonna be here.
I feel like they add new shit to Ultra Instinct weekly, and it's like, come on. Because it's like we talk about like the writing thing. I feel like with the Tournament of Power, because you know there was like rumors that the Tournament of Power was gonna kind of be it. Like they were just gonna kind of be like, nah, that's it, we're kind of done at the here. And I feel like they kind of like wrote themselves into a corner with Ultra Instinct and making Goku so cock diesel, to bring back a old early 2000s phrase to show my age. And then it's just like they made that decision, oh no, let's bring it back. There's still more that we could do with these characters. There's still like new ventures to explore. So it's just like, I feel like when they gave Goku that Ultra Instinct power in the world, the Tournament of Power, they weren't thinking of like moving past that. So it's just like, fuck, we have to like now make it tiered. So it's like we didn't made him god level strong with no plans of really continuing the show or the manga. Now that we continue, we can't just have him god level. So he figured it out by accident, and that was like level 0.5 of Ultra.
Right, because it was like you thought that when you saw the Mastered Ultra Instinct, that was like the final form. That was like, okay, exactly. that's the apex, that's it. And then they're like, oh shit, well obviously people love it and still watch it. How can we make this
how can we retcon this without retconning this?
And it's like, the thing is like, it's understandable, like it was an easy retcon, just because like it's a technique that only the some gods but all the angels have, and the angels are supposed to be like, you like nobody's ever gonna reach their level. So
exactly.
So it was an easy retcon because it's like, oh, Goku all of a sudden is on par with Whis. No, that's not the case. So like, it was very easy for them to do, but it was just funny where they're just like, ah, shit, yeah, that's right. This ain't the final form. This kind of towards the final form.
this
Yeah.
But it's funny because it's just like foreshadowing. Like it's like they keep doing it now. Like it's like they're doing it here. They're about to do it here in the Moro arc, and then little pre-foreshadowing. I don't even know if pre-foreshadowing is a thing. I think that's like an oxymoron.
Pre-foreshadowing.
Like in the next arc, like they're gonna have to do it again.
Yeah.
It's just like y'all didn't think this through, and y'all made him this strong.
Nah. And it was just like, okay, but and it's so funny because like. Then, once he gets to that level, then like these other enemies arrive that are magically at his level. So it's just funny because like, obviously, Toriyama ain't thinking this deep. No one's thinking this deep. It's just, we're figuring it out as it goes. But it's just hilarious because you watch Super and see some of these villains and you're thinking like, we're likes of Moro just chilling in they could have ended the Z Fighters at any time if
back in the same saga.
Yeah, like you have beings that are like on par with gods that were been existing in the universe, and now they're like, oh yeah, they've been here for millions and millions of years.
Yeah. We gonna pay these bills in a second, but I just want to make one more point off of this, and I hate it. So Dragon Ball and Naruto do it the most, and it drives me banana fucking sandwich. Like when you were talking about Trav earlier, like how when a character gets a new power and they're like having like that show it off episode, like when Vegeta turns Super Saiyan and Wax 19 or Goku or Ultra Instinct and stuff. I hate how like the very next villain that they'll run into in the show, somehow coincidentally their powers magically nullify that new power that they just got. And it happens every time.
It's like, damn.
Like their powers are so specific that of all the people in the universe, I just happen to run into the one person whose base power nullifies my highest level right now.
And like it would actually be kind of cool if like one villain like showed up and like was not a match for their form and was able to like find some way to escape and be like, all right, let me level up because I
mean Frieza kind of did that with Golden Frieza, but we're tired of that man at this point.
Yeah, he's like I'm cool with him just being like a space pirate and just doing his own thing, like But before we get to our ad break, we'll just conclude. Chapter 59 basically ends with, obviously, this is how it goes. Like, they test each other out, they fight, and like it's just so funny reading this because, you knew this wasn't going to be the end all be all. So obviously Moro then he tries to do his energy absorption technique that Goku's able to dodge via Ultra Instinct, but then
he's too fast.
And then Moro though says like, hey, well actually, I weaken my opponents and then at the end of it I devour all them. So while I was on my way here, I've been devouring mad planets. Let me show you off the results of my food.
Yeah. Any cuts like a hole in Earth and just for GP sucks up some more energy.
Just to let him know. So then goes to his we don't know if it's full power, but he powers up, and then Goku was like, all right, shit. Well, so the whole point of one of the main things that Mirrors was trying to instill into Goku when he's using Ultra Instinct is to Ultra Instinct Omen, because apparently in that form it drains a lot of stamina. So he wanted him to master to be able to basically maintain that stamina so he can fight longer. Well, once Moro powers up, Goku throws that strategy out the window and he's like, sorry, Mirrors, I'm going to go full power and try to just end this right now. And that's how chapter 59 ends.
Yeah, and not to ignore what every single one of Goku's mentors has tried to teach him. And fights fast.
Yeah.
Like, stop playing around. Like, you leave way too much openings for your enemies to
it's just so funny.
End it now.
He's such a seasoned fighter, but yet is doing the same things over and over again.
The same rookie mistake every time.
Yeah. But let's take a quick break and hear a message from our sponsor.
Pay these bills.
Bow.
Hi there, they call me the Governor, and I will be reacting to episodes of the final season of The Walking Dead, exclusively on the Fandom Spotlight YouTube channel. It's more fun than losing an eye, trust me on that. Check me out weekly when new episodes of The Walking Dead air. Have fun and follow your fandom.
All right, y'all, and we're back. And to be honest with you, we back. I'm gonna be real. So, chapter 60 is called Mirrors' Miscalculation, and you know, obviously,
that's one of the better ones, honestly.
yeah, exactly. And to be real with y'all, you know, we really for this second half, like, I mean, I feel like we could just at this point just riff, because I'm gonna tell you what happens in chapter 60. Moro powers up, Goku powers up, they fight, and then obviously, since Goku ditched the stamina strategy, obviously with him going at full power Ultra Instinct Omen, his stamina is draining faster and faster, which then results in Moro getting the upper hand, and Moro starts fucking him up. And then, as you know, as this is happening, Mirrors is talking to Whis, and he said, were you aware that Moro was absorbing these planets? Were you aware that he had this additional power hidden in Mirrors? Is like, nah, I didn't realize that. Hence his
how Sway? You the feds. You're the Galactic Patrol. It's in your job description to patrol the Galactic. Yeah. You didn't know.
Hence his miscalculation. So that's essentially outside of that, and then we'll jump to Vegeta, his portion. But I just want to let y'all know it's back and forth between Moro and Goku. Eventually Goku starts to slow down because obviously he's draining his stamina, and Moro starts to get the upper hand and fuck him up. So yeah, and Whis was like, "Oh, did Moro's strength exceed your calculations?" And he goes, "Yes," to think that, you know, he could do that, or his power could increase even more. But like, my guy, like, what did you think he was doing while you guys were training?
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, brother Trav. What wasn't Mirrors there when they were having the conversation? Like, yo, his people are running roughshod over the universe. And he was just like, yo, we're just going to kind of have to let them do what they do until we get strong enough, and we'll fix it in post. I swore he was there for that conversation.
He was there. That's like... That's why they went to the his own time chamber, because he knew their time was limited.
Exactly. Yeah, when Goku grabbed the time cop's dick again out the tub, and they were like briefing him, they was just like, yeah, all the people escaped, they're pillaging the galaxy. Moro's just going planet to planet, building up energy, and they was like, fuck, we need to train. We'll fix it later. He definitely knew.
He was there, and
he didn't want to look bad in front of his big brother. He's like, oh shit, this is new to me.
Right.
I had no idea.
And so, you know, during this little dialogue, Whis and is explained to Mirrors that, oh, you know, Saiyans are known to exhibit unknown power when their backs against the wall, especially Goku. And then it's just like, okay, all right. I mean, it's we've seen this time and time after again. They think that, you know, they have a power that's going to defeat the villain. It's not. So they're like, shit, what am I going to do? Then all of a sudden they get some power up that helps them out. But, you know, then he mentions, you know, and, you know, this applies the same to Vegeta. So then over to Vegeta on planet Yardrat, he's finally mastered whatever the technique that he's trying to master yet. Because once again, it hasn't been revealed what he's trying to master. So he masters it. The Yardratians are amazed at how quickly he was able to do it.
My guy.
So, you know, then they're like, all right, Vegeta can sense that Earth is not yet fully devoured yet, so he wants to get there. But he asked Paibara, that's the name of the elder, Paibara, to transport him, to instant transmission him to Earth. And Paibara reveals that Yardratians are not allowed to use their instant transmission technique to leave their planet. So Vegeta is
What a waste.
Yeah, like you can use it, but like we can't dip, so it's just like, oh, all right.
There's one issue that I took with that explanation. Again, fucking plot protection or plot convenience. How did you, if they invented the instant transmission technique, why did they put that buffer on a technique that they made?
Yeah, maybe only possible explanation I could think of was when they talked about in the very beginning, when Vegeta arrived, how like they're an extremely weak race. So maybe like, yo, if you venture out of here, you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna die. You're gonna die.
Or you know what? That's a good explanation, because they were just like, damn, if you get captured, you could have that person could like exploit your powers and like, yeah, it's all right. I'll shoot.
But it was just funny that they're like, you can instant transmission over the planet, just not out of here. so which results in Vegeta asking them to teach him the technique. So even though he tried to not get it, to not learn it, he does eventually after some time. He learns it pretty quickly.
Very
but
fast.
Before he even's able to learn it, then it transitions over to back to the fight where now Moro is really just fucking Goku up. Like Goku's just
whooping.
He's getting knees to the gut. He's getting punched. He's getting thrown on the ground. Moro's thrown around like a rag doll, to the point where eventually Goku drops out of Ultra Instinct Omen. And so at this point, this is when we go back to Planet Yardrat, and Vegeta is able to master instant transmission. And the way that he's able to then locate any key on Earth is because Goku dropped out of Ultra Instinct Omen, and Vegeta, since he recognizes Goku's key, he was able to recognize that, because in Ultra Instinct Omen, or just Ultra Instinct in general, they can't sense his key, like unless you're at that level. And at this point, Vegeta doesn't have a transformation at that level. Yes, exactly. So thanks to Moro fucking Goku up, it allowed Vegeta to recognize his key and instant transmission to Earth. Where here, but before he comes back, we have more dialogue between Whis and Meares, where Whis is explaining.
Probably the only relevant.
In
the last
exactly, because we see the thin line that Meares is walking between, his duty as an angel, but also just the connection that he has with Goku, and him being in the Galactic Patrol has kind of, changed the way he thinks, in terms of like he's a divine entity, but he has like kind of the mindset of a mortal, where he wants to instill justice. He wants to be able to make sure that the universe is safe. But Meares is
and the Grand Priest put him in the Galactic Patrol for the purpose of him learning how living beings operate. What the fuck did you think was gonna happen?
Exactly, especially too when like he was an angel in training, where he still could be molded differently. Like I feel like if he was a fully fledged angel and then was in the Galactic Patrol, he probably wouldn't have this much connect, or this much
inner turmoil.
Yeah. So Whis explains to him that, look, actually I have the panel pulled up. I'll just read it. He said, Meares,
yeah, I did. That's the one. It's funny you say that, because that's the one page.
Because it's the one big important detail. But yeah, he said, Meares, the birth and death of planets is simply a part of the great and long cycle of the universe. Excessive meddling on our part would affect the natural flow of these matters, which is not necessarily a good thing. And then Meares is like, I understand that much, but, and then Whis is like, He said, what's more, only the likes of Lord Beerus and the Lord of Lords, which is Zeno, can decide such things. It is not for us angels to intervene. Never forget that. And he said, yeah, you right. Shit.
But dude, I know he never would, because it's like, it's funny for all the shit that Vegeta gets for like his pride, going on like the whole Zeno could step in if he wanted to. Goku has Zeno's whole pager in his pocket.
He's got him on speed dial.
Like he could be like, yo, this isn't looking too good for us. Can you handle this?
He said, yo, let's come back. Let's come back.
Yeah, and then what's even crazier, because it's just like Goku knows damn, something just fucked me up. If the rules still, as far as I know, the rules still apply that you can only be brought back by the Dragon Balls one time. So everyone on planet Earth was brought back in the Majin Buu saga. So no one else can ever be revived ever again. And they be playing real fast and loose with these
Listen,
Dragon Balls.
I'll be honest. I feel like they change rules all the time. Like the fact
they would have had to.
because I mean, it's just I can't believe I always default to it just because it's my favorite character, favorite storyline. But I just don't like. I see how they use the Dragon Balls willy nilly, and I get it. In his timeline, Piccolo died, so and Dende died, so obviously there's no Dragon Balls on Earth. But like now that with the Granola arc, and then there's still new Namek that's in his universe, so there's the Super Dragon Balls in his universe. So like the fact that it just pisses me off that in this timeline Gohan's like, oh yeah, do your thing, we'll wish everyone back. Where my man Trunks, he can't get one person back in his life. Like it's just everybody is just dead the whole time. And then like to the rules that you just said, where they're like, well, it's been too long. They've been dead for too long. I remember at one point there was something said where like they've been dead for too long, where he can't wish them.
Yeah, some shit.
Oh, oh, okay. Well, the Super Dragon Balls exist now, so we're not gonna.
It's the convenience. It's like oh, I need these to do these right now, so it's gonna do it.
And tell me how between the Cell saga, I mean the Android saga, the Cell saga to Goku Black, the amount of time that Trunk has visited Earth, not one person said, "Hey, there's a new Namek in your timeline that we can go." And if you don't have the resources to do it, why wouldn't Goku just go with him, instant transition him there, or Bulma send back present time Bulma send back some sort of machine that could get him to fly over to Namek? Like, what are we? I'm not gonna. We'll say that for another video, but it just makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. But
yeah, but it's because it's just funny how the can only be brought back one time shit. They only like want to bring that up when it's like has to do with a character who can help in that moment. Oh, they've already been brought back. We can't do it again. But it's like, all right, well, if that is the rule, everyone on Earth got killed by Majin Buu and was brought back by the Dragon Ball. So no one can be brought back. But y'all be like, oh, we'll fix it in post. We'll just Dragon Ball them back. But no, you won't, because you can't.
The things that we like rediscover when we record this podcast are fucking hilarious. Yeah, it's like, oh shit, it's like a lot of it doesn't make sense.
Just put us at let us be the continuity.
Yeah,
piece.
Right.
Like, we got
we'll fix our timeline. We'll fix it up.
We'll fix it.
Yeah. So I mean, the only other real important details that happen in this, speaking of androids, Android 17 and 18 step into before it looks like Moro is about to put the finishing blow on Goku, just because they
always
yeah, they can't because obviously he can't sense the they don't have energy for him to drain. So this stall tactic lasts just enough for Vegeta to show up, and Vegeta's like, he does the same Vegeta spiel where he's like, you're now fighting the stronger one now, and then he transforms to Super Saiyan Blue Evolution, and everyone like Goku and Gohan and Piccolo are kind of like, that's the form he used in the Tournament of Power, and then they're just like, so how's this gonna help? Because they know that that's weaker. That form is weaker than Ultra Instinct. So they're just kind of like,
right.
He's talking big cash shit, but like, he just.
Yeah, Gohan says, and I quote, "That's the Super Saiyan Blue form he used in the Tournament of Power."
Yeah.
What's changed? Like, fuck you. Shut the fuck up, bro.
Yeah, when he said that, I'm like, boy, you ain't pick up a barbell in a decade. Like,
right.
Fuck you talking about? Fuck out of here.
Yo, if I was Vegeta, I'd be like, oh, it's like that. Instant transmission back to yard, y'all. Fuck y'all.
So, oh, y'all got jokes? All right, bet. Say no more.
Oh, you don't need one. Bet. All right.
goes to Bulma's place, gets Brawl and Trunks. Is like, yo, we out. Well, come on, man.
Yeah, we out this bitch. Like, we going to Bears place.
Yeah. Like, they want to be ungrateful as fuck. Yeah, we out of here. So
Let them figure this shit out.
Yeah, Vegeta powers up to Blue Evolution. They're like, okay. And then Vegeta charges after him, and then boom, chapter ends. So, yeah. If you're reading these chapters, you'll get through them quickly. A lot of action panels, minimal dialogue. So, it's...
Yeah. And if you haven't realized, we're in the end game now.
Yeah. And, if there's anyone out there that wants to, is like to collect and everything, they have these in volumes now available. So if you just want to, go through the arc in, one full swoop. But so Mr. Porter, what are you going to give these 2 chapters out of 7-star Dragon Ball rating?
So individually, I'll go with like a 2.5 because because chapters 58, 59, and 60 all could have been one thing.
Yeah.
So if we're combining them, since we did it in a set, I'll say 3.5 because in its totality, it was cool. Yeah. But there was no reason that this needed to be 3. Well, 2 for us here, but just kind of going back to even last week's, like I said, 58, 59, 60 all could have been one thing. So since they split it up, I'm going 2.5. We say this every week or every time there's a fight. The fight panels are dope. They're always good. They always look amazing. This will look fantastic, animated. But in terms of progressing the story, this is giving me a real signature Toriyama Torataro where they don't know where they want to go and they're just kind of spinning.
And it legit at times felt like, how the chapters come out once per month. It legit felt like they were actually creating it month by month at times.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what this feels like. They're like, shit, we need a chapter next week. Continue the fight.
they hit the group chat like, yo, Bo, did you write the chapter yet?
I thought this was
yeah.
Fuck it, just
exactly. But yeah, I was a 3. It was not too much happened. I mean, obviously, but the thing I give it the 3 is just because even though Goku was able to activate Ultra Instinct Omen at will, like he was just fighting. Like I think at this point, when it comes to these fights and everything, like, all right, he has a new form, but like, let's see some more uniqueness to it out of just like, oh, he's just at a power level where he can match but the thing is, I will say that about Moro, the villain in general, I do like his character because he provides different techniques and he's not like your typical just rage monster villain or just a villain that's just strong as hell. There's other elements to him and sort of his magical abilities. So I'll give it that.
Until they make a change to his character.
Yeah. So, Goku activated it at will, but he was just fighting him. He didn't show off any like really new techniques that we didn't see from the Tournament of Power.
That's actually a really interesting point that you just brought up, Chad. It's fun. The parallels. The one thing that I will say that I love about Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball franchise is very subtle, but it's a lot. It's like Goku and Vegeta are so night and day when it comes to like their fighting styles or like their power-ups and stuff. Because it's funny how like obviously Goku is more physical. Like he's not really ki centric. He does a lot of technique. He's a very technical fighter. Where Vegeta is like more well-rounded. Like he does kicks as opposed to punches, and he's like really energy ki blast heavy. But it's funny in their transformations, like you were saying, Trav. When Goku transforms, it's really just a more powerful version of what he does. Like, it's just him stronger. But when Vegeta gets transformations, there's usually like a quirk that he acquires, like with his shit, and that's real interesting. It's like Vegeta gets like a. It's not necessarily a power up. It's like it's like an ability, like an added ability, where Goku's are more just power ups. When that's like the total reverse of like their fighting style.
Yeah, it's almost as if like Toriyama's like, to make up for Vegeta never getting the W, we'll just make him one of the most developed characters in the franchise.
That's his
name. He's the one character I actually like care about having. Oh man, but hey man, not a lot happened, but I think this was a really good episode. It's good to be back. So please take us away, Mr. Porter.
Yeah, and before we get out of here, in the month of July, we actually are planning another giveaway, giving away some dope
So
shit.
stay tuned.
With our partners at Fandom Spotlight. But yeah, we will elaborate more on that in the coming weeks, because I believe we're planning it for August, if my memory serves me correctly. But that has been our time, and like we always say here at DB4L, whether you watch it or you read it, we all need it. So follow your fandom right back here, and we will see you next time on Dragon Ball for Life. Bow. Dodon Ray. Oh yeah, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at DB4L_pod. That is DB4L_pod. And you can listen to us every week on Anchor and Spotify. Apple Music and other streaming platforms are on the way. We are working on it. We hear you guys each week when you tell us that we need to be on Apple Podcasts. It's happening. We just backdoor shit that we have to work on. It'll get done.
Yeah, we got it. We got you.
But yeah, we'll see you next time on Dragon Ball for Life. The second time, Dodon Ray. Shout out to super producer Mikey.
Love you, Mikey.
Shout out to Yali gang.
Hey, shout out to Yali gang and Brendan from Blurred. Shout out to him. Go listen to the episode. We did that thing.
Peace.